Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today as you know, because you read the title, I'm talking about the Arizona Coyotes and their trade deadline assignment. So I'm going in alphabetical order. Last time I talked about the Ducks, the team right below them in the standings at 30th, Coyotes at 29th, and I think these two teams to start off this series are in kind of the same boat. Two teams that have a bright future as long as neither of them do something stupid to it, but they have a bright future ahead of them. They've got some good prospects coming up. The Ducks, their prospects are kind of growing with Zegras and McTavish and Drysdale already coming up and becoming production makers in an NHL level. The Coyotes aren't there yet. They're finally bringing in guys like Gunther, who's got to show off this year, guys like Geeky, guys like, was it Lamoureux? Is that how you say his name? They're already bringing in these guys, Connor, Logan Cooley, and yeah, the Coyotes are on track for a bright future. I like what they're doing, and I just think they need to keep doing what they're doing and keep just producing those. I just gotta say, these dynasty-building players, because for many years now, forever, the Coyotes have been bad, and they've just drafted nobody players, but now they're finally on the right track. They're finally drafting the right guys, and they just need to keep doing it. So the first thing I think they need to do is realize that they're bad now, they're not going to be good next year either, and I think in 2 years, as in the year after the next one, this is going to be finally a team that's worthwhile. I think the Ducks and the Coyotes could be playoff contenders in 2 years, as in after the end of next season. I think they could be, because by then, Geeky, Cooley, Gunther, all these guys are going to be finally NHL ready. The Coyotes this year are going to get a pretty high draft pick. They're going to add whoever is really good draft this year, they're going to add. So right now they need to realize, just build for the future. So right now, last season they had 3 first round draft picks. I think they traded for a fourth, but at least 3, where they got Lamoureux, they got the last one of the first round, didn't they? They drafted he looked cool, didn't he? I forget, but I think he looked cool. And they drafted 3 guys, Cooley, Geeky, and Lamoureux. I think that's how you say the last guy's name. And good start there. Good start. Just keep adding those guys. This year they've only got 1 pick in the first round, which is their own, 1 which is their own in the second round, and 2 in the third round. So I think they need to add some more, and they're definitely going to add some more with these surefire guys that they're going to be trading away that we all know of. And I got a couple more, but I got 2 that I think they should really trade away. But I want to add that they have 7 in the next year's draft in the first 3 rounds. Next season, they got 7 picks, which is great, because they're going to add some guys this year. Next year, I think that Coyotes might be a little bit better than they are this year. Guys like Gunther might actually make this roster for the full time. Guys like Hayton's going to be ready, fully developed, ready for the NHL level. And they're going to start adding in these guys and injecting them into the lineup. And then eventually maybe guys like Cooley make it in. Who knows? Maybe he joins next year and he's completely NHL ready. You never know. And they've already got 7 picks to add more next season into that lineup. So they're already on a great path right there. But for this season, I think they need to just keep adding more fuel to that fire, right? So starting off with I'm going to stick with who I put there first. Shane Gostisbehere, who I'm not hearing any talks about. But last season, and this year, but last season especially, Shane Gostisbehere, I just don't think Philadelphia was the place for him, obviously. He goes to Arizona, of all teams, and he lights up. He's got 29 points, 9 goals. Last season, he was also tremendous. And right now, at 48 games, he's more than half a point a game, right? It's pretty good for a defenseman, and pretty good for a defenseman on the Coyotes, right? So Gostisbehere, for any team who needs that, like a team that needs some puck-moving defensemen to generate some offense from the back end. Any team that's looking for that, guys like the Oilers, I think of, and I know people like Barry and guys like Broberg there and Bouchard or whatever. I know you guys like them there, but a real solidified guy like Gostisbehere would probably be a little bit more interesting than those guys. But any of those teams, I would think of like Calgary, maybe even a team like Vegas, which I know they like their system, but I feel like they definitely could use one more intense guy who actually could score goals from the back on that type of team. So Shane Gostisbehere, 29 points in 48 games right now, doing really good, okay? And for someone like him, you got to think that's at least a simple first-round pick, right? Throw him out there, be like, any team who wants him, throw a first-round pick at us. Throw us a bone. Let's say a team like Dallas wants him, right? I think they could use a guy like him. Dallas throws just, here's our, well, I guess they've already traded their first-round pick, so that wouldn't help this year. But, I mean, another one next year wouldn't hurt, so there's that. So, any team, just throw out a first-round pick for this year, bang, got him. He's yours, right? Sure, they could ask for more, but I think first-round pick, an easy get-out. Because Gostisbehere, by the time that this team is good, he won't be needed. He's just going to waste away on this team, and I think he'd be better for both teams. Coyotes to tank a little bit more. Gostisbehere actually go play somewhere he can actually win. For the time being, he's probably not going to be very interested in the next few years. And this is the last year of his contract as well. So, the Coyotes got a lot of cap space. They could easily hold some as an easy rental to a real cup contender team. Maybe a team like, who knows, like the Lightning for just an idea. So, Gostisbehere would be a great move. And then the big one that everyone's talking about, is Jakob Chychrun. Okay, so Jakob Chychrun, we all know, great defenseman. I've been saying for the longest time that he would probably be the best defenseman in the NHL, or at least in conversation, if he wasn't on the Coyotes. Now, over the last couple of years, he's kind of lost my faith, but he still has 21 points in 36 games, which is not bad at all. He's even more point per game than Gostisbehere is. I mean, in the bubble year of the NHL in 21, was it? 2 years ago or 3 years now? Whatever year. He actually had the most goals for a defenseman in the league. I don't think a lot of people realize that. So I picked him up in my fantasy league, and then he completely busted the next year. So, anyways, Jakob Chychrun, super good defenseman. Defensively and offensively, this guy's a stud, right? So Chychrun, I mean, he's the type of guy any team could use. Add him to a team like Winnipeg, let's say. Winnipeg, they've already got Morrissey and Pionk there. They've already got a couple good guys in the back like DeMello and Dillon, right? Add him onto that lineup, and you just got even more of a stacked defense. And then the team like Winnipeg goes from having a few good threats in the back, really top-heavy offensively, and have a great goaltender in Hellebuck. You add a guy like Chychrun, unstoppably defensively, great offense, and super goaltending. No one's going to score against you, and you got some real threats up front for a team like Winnipeg. And not only that, but he's also got a few years left on his deal, so you're going to trade him and keep him for a little while. But also, he's only got a cap hit of $4.6 million, which isn't half bad at all. So, yeah, just a great deal there for Chychrun. Now, I know the asking price isn't it like 2 first-round picks or 2 prospects or something like that, some like a mix of those two things. I think that's probably fair. I mean, this guy truly is. He was the number one. He's a Roman Josi. He's a Victor Hedman. He's not like a Cale Makar where he's just all offense. Sure, good defensively, but he is Victor Hedman, and I would say more like Roman Josi-esque, right? Just all around, just a superstar guy that can generate points as well. And I don't know what team any team would want him, right? So, really, I think he's going to go to the highest bidder, and that's why they haven't traded him yet, because any team's probably going to be like, we want him, we need him on our team, and they're just waiting until someone finally outbids another team by enough. So, going once, going twice, sold is what I'm going to think's going on there. But then I got 2 guys. I saw these guys, and I've always kind of, one especially, but let's start off with Nick Bjugstad. He's got 23 points, right, which isn't outstanding. But I feel like for a team that really wants to go deep in the playoffs, I mean, Nick Bjugstad, he's 6'6", 23 points is decent enough as a centerman on the Coyotes, right? Not too good, but, it's not the worst thing in the world. But he's a big guy, good at faceoffs. Put him out there. Actually, I have no idea if he's good at faceoffs. But, I mean, he's 6'6" centerman. Put him on your 4th line. I think that'd be a great move for any team. Throw out like a 3rd-round pick for the guy and pick him up, right? So he's 30 years old, I think, or he's 30, 33. And I just think that'd be a really good pick for a team. Just bring in that 6'6" guy, add some physicality to the lineup, right? So just an interesting idea there. But the one I really want to talk about, and someone that I see gets talked over a lot, is Karel Vejmelka. Now, I know his numbers on paper aren't that good, but he is a super good goaltender. When you watch him in games for the Coyotes the last 2 years, he robs games. He is so good, and I think that pressure of him playing with no chance of winning basically every game, and somehow coming up with a somewhat good numbers, kind of. I remember in last season, he was like in the top 10 of goaltenders in save percentage until the team finally caught up with him because the Coyotes are so bad. So Vejmelka, really, I think any playoff contending team should just throw out like a second round pick for him and bring him in, because I think he's one of those goalies that could be like a Binnington, where a team, let's say, like, who's a team that needs a goalie? Let's say a team like the Oilers, right? They pick him up, or maybe the Maple Leafs or something, right? A team that just needs a goalie that really solidify them. Throw in Vejmelka, and after playing on the stress environment of such the pressure that is on the Coyotes, I think they formed a diamond. And you could trade him to a really good team, and he's going to go out there, and because he actually has some help by his defenders and the rest of his team, and not all the pressures on him to stop 50 saves a night, then I think that could be just gold waiting there for a team to claim him. But that is what I think they really need to do. Trade these guys out, get a couple, I mean, say you get 4 first-round picks out of, like, 1 for Shane Gostisbehere and maybe 2 for Chychrun, or 1 for Chychrun and then, like, a good prospect from another team. I mean, that'd be huge for the Coyotes, right? Get 3 first-round picks this year, or 4, or who knows how many. That would be insane. And they're just going to keep building that potential dynasty that they're sitting on. Just to have to wait a few more years and brew. But that is really all they have to do. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, just bring in some more draft picks and get the most opportunities to bring in good players, especially in a draft like this, where who knows, maybe they get switched up and they win Bedard. Who knows? And say they win Bedard and then one of their other picks, they pick up the unknown guy this draft, like I don't know, Chris Jackson. I don't know. The next big player, Chris Jackson, going 13th overall. But that is all I have to say for this video. So thank you for watching this. If you somewhat enjoyed this video, please pick up a free subscription down below by hitting that red subscribe button. If you like this video, leave a like, not a dislike, or go down below to the comment section and tell me how stupid I am and just how idiotic anything I just said was. So tell me what I am below. And until next time, I hope you're having an amazing day. Too sweet, and ta-ta for now.